Right, here we go. We are live. We got levels by the looks of it. We got previews. Wow, that preview's really up to date. Love it. We're doing some programming today. That's the plan, I hope. Yeah, so working on something slightly different today. Well, I say that. Kind of. It's going to be a website, just as we've been working on a few times in the past. This is mainly though just sort of a, I guess, a mindset prep. In the Vindex had an idea. Well, Vindex has an idea. I don't know. I haven't actually spoken to him this afternoon. He was going to be getting back to me, but he hasn't. But oh well. You know, so Vindex, I think, has a game idea, and so I decided I would do a bit of game dev today. Game dev in the most basic of terms. It's not like going to be in Unity or anything. I don't know. The thing that he's got an idea on might be in Unity, but this idea that I'm coming up with today, it's going to be a web-based thing. So I've got a little web development project set up. Bare bones, really basic. We're at the same point we were when we started working on the web UI for Thingamajig. Now, the idea though this time is that this won't take as long, because I think with the Torture website web UI, yeah, that was very much where's my brain going with this? That had a lot of back-end related code that I'm probably not gonna have to write this time. So we should be able to jump a bit more into UI today with this. There is going to be back-end stuff, but I don't think it's going to be quite as much. We'll see. Anyway, first things first, I'm going to make a new project. I always do this. Next, incrementum.core. Always do a core project. Separate out the hardcore server logic from. Let's close that. Let's delete that from the main, like the web UI. Hey LP, how you doing today? Today working on the basics of an incremental game. That's the idea. Going to be a web-based incremental game. This isn't anything like big or serious. This probably won't go beyond today's stream, but this is more just to get into the mindset of game dev, I guess, because Vindex has had apparently, well, Vindex reckons he's had an idea for a game dev idea for a while, and so just to get into the spirit of game dev, I figured I'd work on an incremental game. Yeah, that's the plan for today. So yeah, I literally just started, got a brand new project set up. I haven't done anything other than clear out a couple of files that we don't need. Whenever you build like a Blazor project, Blazor being the framework, the web framework that I'm using, whenever you build like a Blazor project, you always get like a bunch of like standard things. So on our index page here, it had like a survey prompt saying, how do you like Blazor, and you know, that was like a custom component they add for you and blah blah blah. I just cleared out a bunch of that stuff, basically a bunch of the stuff that comes with it, and now here we are. We're bare bones project. I've got a core project set up that I've just made, and yeah, we're just basically gonna dive in. I think I was also saying how like today probably won't be as back end heavy as the Torture macro website is. Like with that, I think I spent like a good 2.5, maybe 3 hours total on stream doing back end. I don't think that's going to be the case with this one. There is going to be back end stuff, and it's going to be different back end stuff, but it's not going to be like, we don't need like a SQL. We don't need like a SQL service. We don't need like a data loader service. Probably would want a data store, but we don't, like, it's not massive that we have all this stuff set up. We probably only need like one back-end class to store a bunch of stuff, and then that's it. where this isn't going to be like this big massive project, I don't need to worry about it, like going over the top. Anyway, speaking of though, I do just want to make our folder. I'm going to make a services folder. I'm going to go about doing this properly, but we're only going to need the one. So I'm going to make a new class, and this is going to be called I don't know. I mean, actually, no. There was me saying I am slightly wrong. We are going to need a. We are going to need 2 files. Yeah, we're going to need 2 files. But one's going to be like the server backend file, and then one's going to be like the client one. So, we'll call this server storage for now, I guess. Because it's an incremental game, we're going to need some models as well. That'll be like worker. Probably shouldn't call it worker. We'll call it worker for now. Shouldn't call it worker just because when you talk about like asynchronous, asynchronicity. When you talk about asynchronous stuff in coding, the thing that's doing the work asynchronously, you typically call a worker. So I shouldn't really call this worker, but we'll roll with it for now. Right, we're then going to need a client storage, and just off the bat, I know that we're going to need a public in no. Yeah, in long public long. No, hang on a sec. Hang on. C# number data types. I just need to know what the limitations are for certain numbers. Do we want to go with 2 decimals? What I want to do is I want 2 different data properties for money. Essentially, I want to be able to store the whole number separately from the decimal, because one of the big problems I ran into with Ice Cream Stand was that hitting the ultra large numbers was impossible with a decimal, because although the decimal data type can have, I think it's like, hang on a sec, it's like, let me see, where is it? Why is this not easy to navigate? The decimal data type can have it's a lot of decimal places. 10 to 28 decimal places or something. That doesn't sound right. No, hang on, wait. I think it's 28. I think it's up to 28. Up to 28 decimal places. I know it's a lot. I don't know why it says 10 to 28. Whatever. Up to 28 decimal places, which is a lot. That's a lot of decimal places. But the problem is, although the decimal data type can have up to 28 decimal places, I think that's what it is, up to 28. We're going to assume it's 28 for now. Despite that, the whole number portion of it is actually quite limited, because although the decimal data type I think takes up 128 bits of data, the majority of that data is stored in the decimal, in the decimal place part, you know. So when we talk about how high the number can go, it's not that high. That doesn't really help. I'm trying to find out exactly what it is. Doesn't tell why. That's integers and then floating points. Right. Okay. So here we go. Yes. So the decimal data type can go up to 7.9 times 10 to the power 28. Sounds like a massive number, I'm sure. The integer can go up to, it doesn't give me the scientific notation, it just says 2 billion, 2.1 billion for integer. Long can go up to 100,000 million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, 9 quintillion. We might use longs then, we might... No, but longs aren't that big. When you talk about incremental games, quintillions aren't that high. But the decimal can support up to 29 decimal digits, that's right. Depending on how many, how big the whole number part is. I don't know why this idea just popped in my head. I wonder if anyone else has tried this idea for an incremental, but it's like a game about atoms, building to elements, then trying to fill out known elements, and so you start off with like earning a proton and an electron to make hydrogen, and work your way up. Eventually, once you get enough to make oxygen, combine 2 hydrogens with 1 oxygen to make water, and find all combos in the game. Probably really hard to flesh out into a real game. That sounds like good fun, and it does exist. I've played that game. I know there's a mobile game that's like that. I played it probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I know it was before I started streaming, because I actually remember, like, I can remember you having to combine elements. I mean, it's not as cool as it, like, the actual game that I played isn't as cool at sounding as you make it sound. It's quite simplistic. Like, it's all fleshed out for you. Like, you don't have to, it's not like you pick 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. Instead, it's like you get to, like, the atomic weight of oxygen or whatever, and then you get the option to buy it, and yeah. It's not, the game I played isn't as cool sounding as how you've made it sound. So what you said there does sound really cool, and that might be something I might want to go for at some point. Might keep this one simple, the one that I'm working on right now simple, but I like the sound of that. That does sound really cool. I do like it. Yeah, the only thing is, because it's about atoms and stuff, are people going to know? You know, you're gonna have to know the periodic table to play it. I mean, I suppose there'll be hints and stuff in the game to lead you along, essentially. But yeah. By the way, I'm trying something a bit different with my mic today, so let me know if it sounds terrible. It's hopefully it's better. Just decided I'd try this, like, where it's down low and pointing up at me. I don't know, it might sound terrible. I also noticed earlier it was clipping, so I did turn the volume down a bit. So if I'm a bit too quiet, let me know, or if I'm a bit too loud, let me know. But yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. We can't, I don't think we can use longs. I really don't think we can get away with using longs, because it's only 9.2 quintillion digits. Well, yeah, it can only go up to 9.2 quintillion as a long, whereas if we use a U long, which is an unsigned long, it can then go up to 18.4 quintillion, because it doesn't go below 0. Unsigned numeric types don't go below 0, whereas the signed versions are an equal distance between 0. So like an unsigned long goes from -9 quintillion to +9 quintillion, whereas an unsigned long goes from 0 to 18 quintillion. Even still, 18 quintillion, a lot. I'm really wondering how I want to do this. Maybe we do use 2 decimals, and like 1 decimal will be responsible for storing the whole number. I say the whole number, what I mean is in the decimal points, because that's where all of the data is for a decimal. Tell you what, no, let me Google something. How much is that? We might use a double. I don't think the double will be any higher though. That doesn't look right. No. Hold on. 17 times 10. Then we want to multiply that by... No, that's not right. No, I've done that wrong entirely. Right, 10 to the power. Where's the power? That one there. Is it 308? That's a lot. 308. Right, and then times 1.7. Yeah. This doesn't help me quantify anything. It's just 1.7 to the power of 308, apparently. That doesn't sound right to me. Is that right? No. 10 to the power of 308 is not... Am I just being thick here? I might be being a bit slow here. I can't... Genuinely, I cannot seem to figure out 308. I'd love to know how many zeros this is. I'm guessing it's 308, but I don't know. Oh, see, cool. That's no good. Sounds good. My computer just lags and doesn't sync well. Too much BG crap running. Fair enough. Well, if at any point you notice any issues, just let me know. Am I gonna have to pull out Excel for this just to figure out the number? No, because Excel would truncate it into a thingy. How many zeros in 10 to the power of 308? Bit of a silly Google, but okay. Oh wow, that's interesting. That's quite big. Apparently 5... Wait, really? Let me... Oh, it doesn't... No, never mind. Apparently 5 billion is 5 times 10 to the power of 9. We might go for a double here, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, we might go for a double. Double. So this will be... So the double will be responsible for major money. And then public decimal will be minor money. Because we want the decimal... So everything on the decimal point... Yeah, will count for the minor amount, basically. Yeah, so everything... I suppose if you think about it, there isn't really such thing as, like, decimal points when you talk about money. There is, like, there is, obviously, in banking systems, you have to take decimal points into account, but do we have to worry about that in terms of, like, an incremental game? Surely it's all, like, whole numbers. You're never going to have, like, one... Well, you have, like, $1.05, because that'd be $1.05, but you won't have, like... No, okay, yeah, the decimal point doesn't matter. In which case, we don't... let's not worry about it. We're just going to do a double. I don't know why I'm, like, getting all funny about this. I don't know what we used in Ice Cream Stand. Anyway, that's fine. We can roll with this. So, client storage has money. We've got this worker, which we probably want to... I don't know, detail as... Public string name would be a good starting point. Public double cost. public double base earning. Sure, base earning. Base generation, maybe. No, base earning. We'll go with base earning for now. So yeah, so workers are going to be like the thing you buy to incrementally make money. So they're going to have a name. They're going to have a cost that you have to pay, which will increase. So I suppose that would be base cost. So base cost, which is what the base amount that you would pay, and then for each one you own, it gets it gets increased. Base earning, which is the base amount without any upgrades applied to it, essentially. Not saying we're going to dive into upgrades or anything. I'm just, you know, we've just got that number there. Inside our client storage, we're going to want a public list. We want a list. How do we want to do this? So there's two ways about this we could go. We could have worker have its own little like public in quantity. We could do that, and then like on the server side, that quantity would just be one all the time, essentially. Whereas in client storage, that, you know, we have like a list of worker list, sure. Can't type. No, not capacity. No, there we go. So we could have this worker list, and essentially every time you buy a worker, if the worker already exists in the list, we just up the quantity, like the up quantity index. Otherwise, we add it. So that could then be how we handle that. However, what I'm thinking, do we want to do that? We could like complicate things a bit, but it might be so this is, I think this is how we did it with ice cream stand. I had this quantity, this is how I handled it there, and I mean, I think this would be more space efficient, as in like it's not going to take up a ton of RAM. But then the fact that, so because this is a server hosted website, the client doesn't have to care about any of that. It's the server's responsibility to maintain and manage that stuff. So who cares about RAM usage and whatnot? So I mean, I say that if I write dodgy Blazor code, then of course the translation into JavaScript on the front end is going to be messy and whatnot. And that could cause, you know, memory issues. But ultimately, we don't have to worry about saving every little byte here and there. Because what I was thinking we could do is we could change this from like a list of worker. We could make this a bag, a concurrent bag. And what we would do is we would add every time we buy a worker, we just add a new worker in. So if you buy two of the same worker, instead of increasing the quantity, that wouldn't exist anymore. You'd simply just have two of the workers in there. And that would be good, because then each worker would be responsible for itself. The issue then comes in, let's say you got 1,000 of the same worker and you buy an upgrade. It's going to have to go through it's going to have to go through 1,000 workers to increase the thingy. I mean, saying that, we wouldn't have to modify anything. I mean, we could make it so that it doesn't modify these. So I mean, these are base cost and base earnings, and we might not want to mess with these anyway. And so instead, I don't know, like, yeah, I think the issue with doing it this way is that if you have, like, let's say there's 6 different types of workers. Let's take Iceland stand into account. I think there's what, 7 workers? Maybe there might have been more, might have been less. I think I might have added the 8th one. Hang on, so there was the carts, employees, the trucks, rockets, aliens, and then it was centaurs, wasn't it, after that? Is there anything between centaurs and aliens? Not sure, genuinely, I can't remember if there was anything between aliens and centaurs. But after the centaurs, there was the ice, like the ice warriors or whatever it was that I made, the ice giants, those things. So let's say we've got 7 different types of workers. Let's say you own 3,000 of each, which I think was, we had as the cap, didn't we, on ice cream stand, 3,000. That's quite a lot. That's 21,000. Imagine this concurrent bag having 21,000 objects in it, and then every second that our game is ticking along for, that we want to process our workers, it has to go through 21,000 workers, individual objects, to calculate how much money you're going to make for that 1 second, and then repeat that a second later. It's a lot. Whereas if we just do the list idea and with the quantity, you know, we do public int quantity. I was going to do count for a second, which is a bit more user friendly, I guess. I don't know. If we do this like this way and we just increase the quantity every time, then all we need to do is we just do worker base earning times quantity. Or well, I guess worker base earning multiplied by any multipliers times quantity. And it's that. Then our 21,000 objects goes down to 7. And instead we're just doing this worker's base earnings times multiplier times the quantity, which is 3,000, 7 times. That's it, every second. So I think we'll go with this route. Like, there are benefits to the other route in that you can then put in certain things where it's like every 1,000th worker you get a boost or something, or every 500th worker is doubled. You could do that in theory with the other way a lot easier than this, but yeah, this will be how we do it. Anyway, we want to do the same one here. Public list. Well, actually, no, we don't quite want to. I've also just realized. 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That one. There we go. I think I just spotted my my little thing that pops up in the top left. I think it was in the top left. It shouldn't be in the top left. It's now in the top right. So list worker. Maybe it wasn't actually. Maybe it was just. It might have actually just been the IntelliSense throwing me off. Worker list equals new. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I was going to add something to workers and I completely forgot what it was. Oh yeah. Public UID ID. And the reason we're doing that, because we're going to change this from a list to a dictionary. UID worker. There we go. So we're making a dictionary just because it's a lot quicker performance-wise. And I know earlier I was saying, oh, we don't want to worry about the memory, but performance, although memory might not be an issue for the client to worry about, performance we do want to care about. So performance-wise, we use a dictionary just because it's a lot quicker to look up by ID, like you know, to get the worker out by ID. Even though there's 7 workers, still, you know, we won't ever want to increase the amount of workers. Let's take, for example, the idea that LP came up with the periodic tables thing. In that situation, I'd imagine that the workers on that would be each individual element. I mean, you obviously you'd have like protons and electrons and, you know, neutrons and stuff, but like, I'm sure if you were to create an element, you would earn money off that element, so that would technically be a worker. And already then we've got like what, 100 workers. Well, you know, however many there are on a periodic table. I don't know how many elements there are on a periodic table, 130 or 140 or whatever it is. I'm not sure, maybe 200. I have no idea. I genuinely don't. But you know, let's assume 200, right? 200 workers then, like, even then 200 is not a lot, I guess, but still it would just be quicker to look up by ID in a dictionary than it would be to loop through the list and try and find the matching worker, essentially. So yeah, that's how it is. So we got our dictionary for worker list. If I was doing this proper, I would have like, I wouldn't have a server storage. I'd have like a data store, and then this would be in here, and it'd be a private, and we'd have like a method written that does, you know, like public worker get work worker GUID ID, and we do like a worker list dot try get value. Yeah, that returns a thingy. So this wouldn't be a worker. This would be a bool, and it would be GUID ID out worker, and then this would just be ID out worker, like that. That would be nullable, and then we would flag this as not null when true. There we go. Simple as that. Boom. That's how I do it properly. But and I mean, yeah, we'll do that. Sure, private. I mean, this would all be in a data store. Just gonna name that how I'd normally name it. There we go. Right, what's this gonna say? Wants me to rename it. Why does it want me to rename it? Oh, hang on. If I make that read only, doesn't like it being read only. Why doesn't it like it being read only? Private read only dictionary. Oh, because of that. And now it's probably got on. Yeah, rename it. There we go. I was gonna say, why do they want me to rename it? It's because I had a guess. There we go. So we got our private read only dictionary. We've got a get worker method, and this would also have an interface if I was doing it properly. But who cares? We've got our worker list here. Got money. I guess I could probably do this somewhat properly. I could go public void increase money. There we go. Double amount equals 1.0. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a method that takes in a value, but I'm also setting a default value, so you don't have to put the value in. And this will do money equals. Oh, actually, do you know what? We're going to do a U double. A U double's not a thing. I'm probably being an idiot there. U double's not a thing in C#. Might not be a thing. 1 second. C# U double. Oh, never mind. Ignore that. It turns out doubles can't be unsigned. Oh, that's a shame, because I was really hoping we could get away with oh, we can be really clever about this. Public double money. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you probably don't need to worry about it if you've got 10 to the power of 308 like digits to work with. Then, well, 10 to the power of 308 is the upper limit, I should say, not digits, but the upper limit of this value. I suppose you don't need an unsigned. What I was going to say was, what we could do is set its default to be double.min value, which would be like negative stupid number, and then what we would do, yeah, is that we would essentially, when it comes to displaying it, we add min value onto the displayed figure, but then we would run into a problem with the displayed figure once you get to 0. Well, yeah, once you get to 0 in the money variable, the displayed variable was going to be the max value of double, and so once you go above that point, the display isn't going to display it properly. And it's not like we can then start displaying money because you go back down to 0, right? So that's not going to work, what I was thinking. It's a solid idea for storing like higher numbers. It's just not a solid idea for displaying it and being able to like read it out, essentially, like, you know, in order to obtain what that number above 0 would be. Yeah. So I suppose it does. Yeah, I suppose we're just gonna have to roll with it. That's fine. Math dot min max. Yeah, max 0 money plus amount. And what we're actually going to do is change that to change money. Change modify. That's a bit more professional, doesn't it? Reason being is that we're going to use this modify money to also decrease, because if you add -1 to a number, it goes down by 1. Simple as that. I suppose you could, in theory, write 2 methods. Like, so for example, with ice cream stand, I had an increase and a decrease, but it just makes sense to have the 1 ultimately. So, because then you never run into problems where, like, you click a button, you're like, why is my money going down? It's because I'm using decrease, not increase, and you couldn't tell because you saw the 1 in the bracket and you saw, oh, it's increasing by 1. No, it's a decrease. Whereas modify money, you know, -1, taking 1 off, right? So that's that, and we want to do a public void add worker. That's a good one. Worker. And then what we'll do is if worker list.any ID is equal to worker.id. No, I should really do var work var existing equals first or default ID is equal to worker dot. There we go. That's what I should do. And then if existing is not equal to null, then existing dot quantity plus yeah, plus. There we go. I'm having a bit of a. What we should also do actually is int quantity equals 1 equals plus equals quantity. There we go. Else worker list add worker. Boom. That's it. There we go. So that's our add worker. So if the worker already exists, then we increase its quantity. Otherwise, we add the worker to the list. What I should do is dot clone clone 1. What we're going to do here is I'm going to make a public worker clone 1 method, and this is simply just going to be responsible for passing this worker back, but only having a quantity of 1. It's just in case there's any hiccups on the server storage where we've increased the quantity by 1 by accident, or maybe if we're reading, if this was to read from a database, if we had the quantity set as a higher value within the database when it shouldn't be, you know, whatever. This catches all kind of scenarios. So instead, we're just going to do a return new worker where ID. Actually, do you know what? I might be able to cheat a bit with this. If we go to manage NuGet packages, this is something I picked up on through work, is that sometimes there's little hacky ways of doing things that just works. If I install Newtonsoft JSON and then I do var worker equals JSON convert dot deserialize object worker, and then I do a JSON convert dot serialize object, and then this, that will technically create a clone of the worker. So if we had anything in here like a list or something, you know, if we had a list in this worker, let's just assume this worker had a list in it, and I did like var worker equals new worker and then I do like a, you know, list equals list or whatever. For example, let's say we've got this object in here called list. We go public list of in list, right? If I did that, right, so list equals this dot list. I mean, I don't have to do this, but whatever. If I did that, So the problem with this is I believe that this worker object here, its own list, although its own list is a new list, I believe the children in the list are still referenced to the same objects. So any changes I would make to the children of this worker would affect the children of the worker that we just created this from, which causes problems. I mean, it might not necessarily be the case with that, but yeah, anyway, it might not necessarily have been the case. They might have, it might not, I don't know. We don't want to risk anything dodgy like that, is what I'm saying. If worker is equal to null, and then we're just going to return a new worker. It should never return. That should never be null though. Worker dot quantity equals 1. Return worker. There we go. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this slightly, and I'm going to say int quantity equals 1. There we go. So that allows us to clone with an amount of quantity. So clone that there. There you go. So default of 1. So here's actually an actual example of these default variables being used. These default parameters being used. So we've got this clone which takes in a quantity, but we set the default to 1. So in client storage, we don't have to give it the 1. We can say 2, and it will use 2, or we can leave it blank and it just use the default 1. Simple as that. So that covers the add worker. How are we looking time-wise? Wow. Okay, 40 minutes. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not spending too much time on backend. So that's that sorted. So what I think we're going to do, just for a second, is I'm going to go public server storage. So I'm going to make a constructor. So this constructor gets called when we create server storage, when we create a server storage object. And I'm in here. I'm literally just going to do public add worker. I'm going to make a new method called add worker. I don't even think I need a body to this. I think I can just do try add. Yeah. Worker.id worker. This doesn't even need a proper body. I can just do this. Love it. So I've got this add worker method, which will just add into the worker list for me. It will try and add it. What that means is it will try and add it. I don't know how best to explain that. It does return a boolean, so if it was unsuccessful in adding the worker, then it will return something, but we don't care about that in a minute. Instead, I'm just going to do add worker, new worker, an ID of new GUID. We want a name of LP. If you're still there, just give us a name for a worker. I'm not. Yeah, the best thing that's coming to mind is worker 1. I don't know. Grunt, love it. Grunt. Base cost. How much should it cost, LP? How much should a grunt cost? Just while I'm waiting for you to get back to us on that, I'm going to set quantity to 1 by default. Oh, sorry. 10. It's going to cost 10. And how much should it earn? Actually, I'm going to do something slightly... I say something slightly different. It's actually the same. I'm just going to... Same as what I did for quantity. Setting the default of ID to GUID. New GUID. There we go. So we don't have to worry about assigning it here. So how much should they earn? That's the question. Should we say, like... I suppose it's got to be less than 10. Let's go for 1 for now. Let's see. If you can provide a better number, we'll go with that. Per tick... Second, 0.5. Love it. 0.5. Amazing. Cool. There we go. Now we just need a second worker. Let's do... We've got grunt. Why do I feel like mafia boss? Drone. Love it. Drone. We need the base cost for that. I'm going to stick 50 in there for now, but I'm sure you're going to be able to come up with a better figure. And then let's do a base earning of 2. If you can come up with better figures than that, I'm happy to use that. But not too interested in balancing at the moment. But yeah. So there we go. So we've got a means of yeah, 2 times 10 for now. So 10, 100,000. Fair enough. 100 it is. And then yeah, fair enough, and we'll do 5. In that case, then let's get a couple more set up. Can you 50, 500? Does that sound right? No, 500's not right, is it? 5, 10 and then 0.5, 100 and then 5, 1,050. Oh, it's because I didn't increment that by another one. There we go. This is why underscores make things so much better. Yeah, should we come up with some other names? We got Grunt, Drone, God, I'm no good at this stuff. I'm going to be honest. My creativeness is terrible. Inspector oversee. See, this is. Do you know what, LP? We need to sit down one day, you, me, and Rindex, and we need to come up with like a proper game idea. Inspector and overseer. I say that I'm not going to come up with anything. You guys can come up with it all, and then I'll sort of like make it. Just have to bring myself back up. I'm shrinking. Right, this bloody chair. There we go. So we got 4 workers. I'm happy with that for now. And then just while we're here, I'm going to do a public list. Enumerable of worker. Get workers. Rams. Period. ID. I always forget how params work. Is it that? Jeez. Is it just... No, I'm thinking I'm getting my Java and stuff. It's a single dimensional array. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm going to do that. There we go. Cool. So get workers, and then what we do is if ID's dot length is equal to 0, then yield return. Yield return. So for each var, worker in worker list dot values. Yield return worker. Else for each var worker. No, for each var ID in IDs. Yield return. We could do that, or we could do get worker. Oh, actually, no, we do need to do that. Yeah, there we go. So that's our get workers. So that's responsible for like when we want to build our shop list. I think I'm going to be honest. I think there's like one thing left to do. Yeah, I think there's one thing left to do before we can then start working front end, and that is to get a timer set up. So private timer. Now, I don't know if that timer is any good. Hang on a sec. So public client storage. Timer is equal to new timer. What are my options here? Is this the timer object I want to use? What it is there's 2 different kinds of timers. So if I do a private timer, so you see this is blah, blah, blah. It might be a bit small because the IntelliSense window is small, but there's this timer that I've got selected at the minute in this little box here. There's timer, which is system.threading.timer, and then there's timer, but from system.timers.timer. They are handled slightly differently. And if I'm being honest, everywhere that I use a timer normally, I tend to use the threading timer, so the one that we're already using. However, having said that, in another project that I've been working on, also what is this song? This is a really annoying song. Let's skip to the next song. That's really weird. That's really weird. I don't know what happened then. Music was being weird. Anyway. Cool. Right. Yeah, so everywhere I use this timer that we've got set up at the minute, but in a project I'm working on, I'm not using this timer because I need to use certain functionality that this timer doesn't have. Question is, am I going to need that functionality here? I don't think I will. No, I won't. Okay, we're good to use this timer. Cool. Okay, that's fine. Create method. It's fine. Let's pull this down here. And no, actually, let's not. Let's keep that there. This is going to be called on tick. And then I want to do null as the state. Do I want to do null as the state? No, let's do... I'm trying to think about how we want to do this. Can I make a new, like, it's going to be a bit weird. Can I do, like, money... No, I don't think that's going to work. Can I do that? Yeah, maybe. That might work, actually. Money equals money, and then... workers equals worker list. Sure. Time span dot, so due time will do from seconds 1 10 for now, 10 seconds, and then the period is also time span dot, no, not main value, please, from seconds. That seems to work. Love it. I'm not sure how that state's going to work, I'm going to be honest. I've never used state before, but it comes through on tick. It comes through as like the object. So the idea is that any time that has passed, like it's going to be milliseconds, but any time that has passed between the on tick getting called and the actual functionality of on tick happening, essentially you use state to ensure that nothing has changed. So you pass anything through that you don't want to have changed between those two periods in through state. Normally, if I'm being honest, I'd normally leave state as null, and I'd just reference money, like, you know, I do money, and I'd reference money in here, which, you know, I suppose would work, I guess, in this scenario, but, you know, we'll try it with state, why not? Can't hurt. We'll see, maybe. Okay, for a bit of a client call, no worries, all good. I've just realised, I know why. I was going to say, I just realised all of my audio levels have all changed, the names have all changed. I used to have desktop, mic, music, Discord. But earlier on I was playing around with the mic. I was thinking of taking a video broadcast off of it and just running it like this right in front of my face without NVIDIA broadcast, just turning down the volume of the mic, so you don't hear like the fans and stuff, but it didn't work. I mean, I say that it was still ridiculously quiet, but it was still there in the background. Having said that, I didn't record it and listen to it. I was just going off the levels. I might do that. I'll do that after stream. Play around with that. Because if I can get rid of NVIDIA Broadcast, that'd be really good. Yeah, something I might play with. Anyway, back on with this. But anyway, because I modified my audio sources, it got rid of all the names. It does that every time I do this. Every time I play with the audio sources. Speaking of audio sources, I've just realised that should not be there. Let me hide that. There we go. I got a new audio source in there. One that I am not going to ever use. But because I plugged in a new device, it picked it up. Right, private void on tick. So we get states. I just want to see, what is it? How are we going to do this? So var s equals, and then I just want to see how this works. So can I cast this as a double? I don't think this is going to work. No. I wasn't too sure that was going to work. So it's all well and good passing in this object here, but this isn't JavaScript. It's not loosey-goosey. I can't just do state.money, right? That doesn't work. You could do that in JavaScript. You can't do that in C#. It's just not a thing. And I mean, do I really want to create a new object, like a new class, just for the timer state? I mean, I could do it here. I could do like a public class timer state, I guess. And then in here we would do public double money, and then public list of workers, right? Our worker lists. We could do that, you know, like, and then over here we would do a new timer state, right? And then here we would do money is equal to money, workers is equal to worker list. Like, that's an option that works. And then over here we would do var timer state is equal to timer state, right? And that would cast it essentially. And it's probably going to tell me to do. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, no, that's fair. If I should really, yeah, my bad. I should really do like var timer state is equal to new timer state, right? And then we just do if state is not equal to null, then timer state is equal to that. And well, I suppose I should really do timer state nullable. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That kind of works. And then we don't actually need. That works. There we go. All of that just to get back to where we were at the start, just with a question mark. Whatever. And then we can just do a check to see if timer state is not. And what we should really do is if timer state is equal to null, and just return. Because at the end of the day, we want to use the money and workers from timer state. Yeah. Essentially, all that means is that in that, like, if there's any kind of hiccup or like timing issue, and you know we happen to click a button that buys a worker, the instant this timer fires, right? As in, like, this timer fires and then like a millisecond later we've hit the button. I know it's ridiculous sounding, but bear with me here. Assuming that, right, then we don't want to take into account the new worker we just bought. So we're going to use our workers from timer state. So essentially, if there is no timer state, we just return, and the next tick it'll pick it up. Whatever. Yeah. Timer dot. Do I have to? No, I don't. Okay. I also just remembered I do need to do disposable. Love it. There we go. Just something worth noting as well, because we're using a timer. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Because we're using a timer, we do need to make our object disposable, just so it correctly disposes of the timer. Reason being, if we don't do that, then even after we destroy this object, the timer will continue to tick along, and then we'll hit like a null reference exception because onTick doesn't exist anymore, etc, 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 blah, 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 blah. So we need to know. Or rather, I suppose onTick, I think, would exist still, but the objects that we're trying to modify, because although we're passing in a timer state, yeah, although we're passing in a timer state, these objects won't exist anymore. So money and worker list won't exist. Well, money specifically, because we're going to be like doing our logic and then applying money onto that. So we'd do like money plus equals blah blah blah, right? Or I suppose what we do is we do modify money. So we do modify money blah blah blah. But I have just realized something that might actually put a spanner in the works with this state situation. We're creating the state when we create the timer. Is that right? Am I understanding that right? State initializes an object containing information to be used by the callback method or null. So the question is state built every time it's called? It might not be. If it's not, and that state is only created upon creation of the timer, then that puts a spanner in the works. We can't use state, obviously, because like it won't have an updated list of worker list. It won't have an updated money number. C# timer. What is this? Is the threading, isn't it? Yeah, threading timer. Pretty sure it's threading. Yeah, threading timer. C# threading timer state. Let's have a look, see what it does. Is this right? Is this the right thing? Okay, yes it is. Okay, so that's so. You know what? Let's not use states. Let's just set that to null. So we don't want to use those anyway. Okay, cool. Whatever. We'll work around it. So yeah, so we want to do our logic, and what we're gonna do first of all is var money is equal to money, right? And I believe I want to say that I want to say that means any modifications we make to money won't like any modifications we make to the local money in this this method here won't affect the big money. So we're going to roll with that for now. What we do here is, I suppose we can. Do you know what? I'm just going to knock that off. Oh, do we have to have that? I don't remember that being a requirement. Weird. Anyway, so var money equals money, and then we do. So, do I want to loop through the worker list, or do we want to be fancy? We could be fancy. We could go var income equals worker list dot select x dot base earning multiplied by x dot quantity. And that's not a select, actually. We want to do a sum of that. And then I suppose we're not going to make use of any multipliers for now, but just for argument's sake, let's do a public int multiplier times multiplier. And then we basically just do modify money income. And I mean, we didn't even need to use money. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, that should work. And I suppose now all we need to do is start setting this up so we can actually make use of it. So builder.services.add singleton, and this will be server storage. That's right, because I need to reference project. There we go. Builder.services.add scoped client storage. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so that's that sorted, and then all I need to do is start importing some stuff. So let's import some useful stuff. Let's go browse, change the source, package source to Sun library. We're going to grab my core package. There we go. Yeah. Accept. Cool. Do we want to make use of keyboard? Not for now. We don't need to make use of video or WASM. We want to extend anything. Don't need navigation manager extensions. Don't need any of this. Oh, we could be like proper high precision like timer with this, because I've actually got a high precision timer that I've got, and it does make use of the circular buffer. Oh, do we want to use a high precision timer? We don't have to. It's not needed. I think it's accurate to within like 10 milliseconds. Because one of the big problems with a lot of the standard timers, so like threading timer and timer, is that they tend to like, what's the terminology? They tend to I guess they tend to like stray, but there's a certain terminology that is used when you talk about time to set, like drift. Of course, it's called drift. They tend to drift, and so like, you know, if you've got a time that runs once every 5 or 10 seconds, after a couple of hours, you know, it's not firing at the same time, if that makes sense. So like the very first iteration of it firing may have fired at, say, you know, exactly like 12 p.m. on the dot, right, to the second, right, 12:00, right? Whereas after 3 or 4 hours of this running like every 10 seconds, I might notice it's, you know, after, you know, at 3 o'clock, it won't be firing at 3 o'clock on the dot. It might be 3:01:02 or something, right? Like it's just drifted a bit. I mean, that might be a bit dramatic. It might be, well, actually, I say that might be a bit dramatic. Not necessarily. I do remember about a year and a half ago, I think it was, maybe longer actually. No, God, it would have been longer, maybe. Oh shoot, no, now I think about it, this would have been pre-pandemic. Oh God, like 3 years ago now then. I think about 3 years ago, me and Streamsmiths were working on a game. Was it 3 years ago? Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was only 2 years ago. Might have only been 2 years ago. Pretty sure it was pre-pandemic. We were going to work on a game, and we wanted to implement a timer. Now, the problem is, for what we needed this for, I'm pretty sure the timer had to be pretty accurate. Like, it couldn't drift. It didn't have to be accurate as in, like, we needed it to fire, like, with the perfection of, like, within 10 milliseconds. It wasn't that we needed it to fire accurately, it's just over an extended period of time, we didn't want it to drift, is all. So, you know, if it happened to fire, like, 500 milliseconds too early, too late, so what? It was after, like, several hours, we didn't want it to be a couple of minutes off. And so I had to create a high precision timer, which is where I created this. So this is accurate within 10 milliseconds, and I believe it autocorrects. So although it might be off for 10 minutes, it might be off like 5 milliseconds on its like on that particular call. The next time it'll be over by 5, or like it will try and autocorrect. So it does try and keep itself on track. It's not perfect, but like I said, within 10 milliseconds of its like leniency sort of thing. But yeah, so do we want to do that? I think I'm going to be honest. I think given enough time, considering the fact that incremental games, people have them running for days, if not weeks, if not months at a time, without refreshing pages. I'm guilty of it. I'm pretty sure, like years ago, 6-7 years ago, when I used to go to college, I used to use leave my PC on 24/7. I'd have it on in the morning, I'd have it on in the afternoon, I'd have it on overnight, right? I'd go to college, it would be on. I'd go to sleep, it would be on. I wouldn't restart it. I'm pretty sure I clicked Cookie Clicker running for about 3 months between restarts. Didn't refresh the page once. It happens. So I think we need to take into account that it's possible that that might happen. So this read-only timer needs to be replaced with a high precision timer. And actually, I just realised I imported that in the wrong place. That's not good. I shouldn't have imported it in the base project. Instead, I want to import it, okay, in the core project, because that's where it's going to be used. On timer. Let's say random's fun as well, but did I just call it timer? Did I? Timer. Oh, I did. Okay, I just called it timer. Oh yeah, no, I know why it's called timer. It used to be called high precision timer, and then when I made my NuGet packages, I just changed it to timer. And of course, I have to do the import because why? I don't know. Right. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea how I had this set up. Interval name. Okay, fair enough. So we want to do an interval of... So it's an int interval. Is that in milliseconds? I'm going to be honest. I kind of regret not creating docs for this. I should really do that at some point. Let's just see. Is it in... I think it's milliseconds. Yes, it's in milliseconds. It's in milliseconds. Let's do it. Let's do that then. So we want to do 1000 times 10. It's always good practice when you're writing code that involves certain time elements, is that you should always do this kind of thing. So instead of doing like 10,000, right, it's good practice to do 1,000 times 10, just because then you can follow the logic and say, okay, well, it's 1,000 milliseconds, so 1 second multiplied by 10, so 1 second, 10 seconds, right? Just about a good way of like following the code. And then I think I can do timer dot tick, and then I'm probably going to need to, yeah, I'm going to have to create a new timer on tick. That's fine. It's not an issue. Why are we not able, why can you not pull that in, dude? Oh, I know why it couldn't put it in. It's because I've already got a freaking timer class reference. Where is that referenced? It's not referenced anywhere. I'm not using system at all. Why is it just automatically assuming I want to use the threading time? Weird. Anyway, I'm going to be honest, I could probably modify this timer to not need to send like event args or sender, because I mean E just contains, yeah, like the duration between calls, and the total ticks is how many ticks it's actually done over the course of its lifetime. which I suppose would be interesting for logging to see, again, how long people leave their game open for. But, yeah, whatever. I could probably modify it so it doesn't need to send anything back. Or maybe it's like an optional thing where like, yeah, like where you just would have that essentially. Something to think about. Right, so that solves that one. There's our high precision timer, accurate to within 10 milliseconds, I believe it is. And we still need to dispose it, of course. So that's fine. Server storage, we've got right, I think now, I'm going to be honest, I think it's time to start moving on to some UI. So we want to do... Oh, you know, I say we want to move into some UI. I'm not quite right. I actually need to create a new class. This is going to be called incremental page base, and this extends page base component, and then all I need to do is a private read only, I think. Client storage. Storage. That's actually got to be nullable, and that's got to be an inject. Yeah. And then we do a protected client storage. Client storage. It's going to be equal to client storage. That. Boom. Why are you having problems with inject? Oh, it's because I'm an idiot. Ah. It's not read only. What is that then? Is that not right? Ornamento. Let's just pull this up. 1 second. Oh, love that. It like opened up on the other screen. Perfect. Just going to check to see how I've done it in another project. Shared. That one. Doesn't look right. It's right, but it doesn't look weird. Okay. Weird. It doesn't feel right. Oh well, sure. Minimize that for now. Come on, go away. Go away. Here we go. We'll roll with it though for now. Incremental page base can get closed, and then this just needs to inherit. I think. Yep, inherits is correct. There we go. So we've got all of our stuff from page base. So additional got all of our stuff from page base. You know, this lovely class here. We've got all our stuff from this, which includes, you know, additional dispose, additional refresh, on after render, initialize page load, ready, parameters set. Should render, unsubscribe, subscribe, all of that stuff that we just set up in here. It all comes from page base component. That's part of my NuGet package. It's a lovely. Here we go. It injects the JavaScript runtime and navigation manager. So if I go into our index page, I can make use of Java JS runtime. One sec. I know I was joking about this, but that's actually just to a protected after render. There we go. JS runtime. There we go. So I can make use of JS runtime, or I can do navigation manager. I can make use of that. Lovely stuff. And then one of the great things about this here is that because there might be certain things that are unique to this project, for example, our client storage, that doesn't exist in my template, in my my NuGet package. So what I can do is I can create a unique page-based component. I'm going to rename that. A unique page-based component for this project that inherits from the one from my NuGet package and just expand upon it. So this page-based component has everything from the NuGet one plus this. So we can make use of JS runtime. We can make use of navigation manager, and we can also make use of client storage. And there we go. You know, we can add worker, dispose, modify money, boom. What we'll do is we'll have a button. I mean, first of all, I want to do an at client storage.money. That's going to look real ugly. So what I should really do is I should have a at format money. Pass in that. And over here, let's get rid of that now. We don't need that. Public string format money, double money, and then all I need to do is basically have this path back a string. So we would do something like return money colon and then that, and that would literally format it as a currency. So C formats the number as a currency, and 0 I believe is just so that it doesn't have the it doesn't have the decimal point. I suppose we should have the decimal point. Yeah, we'll use C instead of C0. So C0 excludes the decimal point, C includes it. And then because this is a real simple one, and I like these arrow functions, we just do that. Bosh. Totally didn't fall asleep. I was going to say, did you have your call with Chester? Because like I messaged you earlier, and you've been like away since. Did you have your call with him or not? I had a feeling you fell asleep though. Right. Okay, so that's our format money, and then we want to do button. This is going to look terrible, by the way, but we're going to roll with it for now. Class btn hyphen. We'll do success, I think is the one I want. Yep, success, that's the green one. And then this will be by what we'll do, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do an at for, oh sorry, I've just realized this here needs to inject something else. We need to inject server storage. Completely forgot about that. Server storage, there we go. There we go, because we need to be able to reference all of that. So for each var worker in server storage.get workers, we don't give it any IDs because we want to be able to get them all. We render a button which contains the text by worker dot name for at format money worker dot cost. Boom. And that should work there. And then what we're gonna make that not success, but we're gonna make it info. And instead we're gonna have a separate button called button class btn. This is gonna be success. Here we go. And this is gonna be like earn $. There we go. And then this is gonna be, oh, that needs to be second S, there we go. And then this needs to be at on click. Needs to be client storage dot modify money. Is that going to have AC fit? That's going to have AC fit. So we're going to do that. There we go. That increases money by $1 and $1. There we go. And then this one here needs to be at on click. Client storage dot add worker. Okay. There we go. Right. Well, Johnny One is owed 15 mil, not 50. Interesting. He's getting a mega point tonight. Did he win? Wow. Okay. You kind of expected it. Let's be honest. He was going to win, but. Nice. It's I'm glad to hear what he actually won. Let's run this. Let's see what we get. This should work. I love that symbol. I love that symbol. I think that's the generic currency symbol. There we go. Earn $1 dollar is working. Buy a grunt. Oh, yeah, yeah. So... Okay, that's... If I do this, is it gonna... I don't think our timer's working. Interesting. I mean, the buy... So, okay. Okay, so one thing that this doesn't do... Oh, God. One thing this doesn't do is it doesn't take into account money. So let's do that. So if money is less than worker.base cost, return. And then once you've done that, we then do... my bad. What I should do is base cost times quantity. So we're not going to worry about increasing the cost for everyone for now. We're just going to do this. Then what we do is we do modify money minus worker.base cost times quantity. There we go. So yeah, we take the base cost, multiply it by quantity, and then the negative of that we take away from the money. So we take away that much. So that should solve our purchasing issue. The problem though is, what is that doing there? That was a weird slash. The problem is that our timer should be going. In theory. It might not be. I mean, if it's not, then that's fine-ish. I'd rather it was, but we can work around it. Let's just see if it does. Still going. Make that another 2 mil, so it's 17 mil to Johnny and 0 to Amber. Jesus. If I do buy $1 dollar by grunt, so that does decrease by 10, but I don't think the timer's running. Yeah, I don't think that timer's running. Unless I was wrong. Is it in seconds? It might be in seconds. Let's try it with an interval of 10. Whoa! No, it's definitely not. Nah. Okay. 1,000 should be... I'm so confused. I don't know why. What? Huh? Is it just because I might be an idiot? Is it because I did the what, 10, like 1,000 times 10? Oh wait, he has to pay a 2 mil and she has to pay 15 mil. Ah, okay. Interesting. Fair enough, I see. I mean, did they say why? Like, what's the reason? I mean, I can probably guess, to be honest. But, yeah. Let's just have another quick deep dive into timer. Why is this not working? So, interval. If interval is greater than or equal to 1... Yeah. 1,000 divided by interval. So it's in... Next stop. Milliseconds. So it is in milliseconds. Why is this? Huh? Why is this working if it's less than 10 seconds? What if we do 5,000? I mean, that's still wrong. Because it's still ramping up real quick. That's not working now either. Weird. It's really strange. I would love to know why. Total ticks 20. Nah. Oh, wait a second. How are we going to handle this? I think what's going on. This is a bit of a problem with Blazor, and it is a problem I'm running into with a website that I'm working on in the background. Is that when you make a server-sided Blazor website, your scopes, like the scope of certain objects, can be different between server versions of a website and a client version of a website. What I mean by that is if I made a client-sided website, we wouldn't be having this problem. However, because I'm making a server-sided website, I think what's happening is that this client storage is being created over and over and over. And so what's happening is there's potentially like 3-4 of these different client storages going on, and the timer's misbehaving because of that. Possibly. I'm thinking that's what it is. Because the timer's working. I think. I might be wrong. It might not be working. Let's just check. This is going to fire instantly, isn't it? Yeah. So income is 0. Let's just, let's do some of this. Right, let's stop there. What's our income? 0.5. Okay. Money plus amount. $12.80. 1280.5. Okay, this is weird. I mean, there's something I do need to add. I need to add an event because you might have noticed the front end isn't updating. I keep having to earn dollar to actually see it increase. We can fix that by adding an event. So I need to do a public. I always forget how to do this bit. Oh What is this? What are we? Wait, are we back to this song already? Wait, I've just realised something. This is something annoying. I don't understand this. My phone's making noise and I can hear it. You guys can't hear that, can you? No. That's so weird. What's going on? Weirdest thing ever. Right. Okay, that's weird. I was wondering what that was earlier. Hang on. I mean, it does look. Okay, well that explains that one. We're going to swap over to a BRB screen for a second. So give me 2 seconds. That one there. Yeah, I'm going to pop over to a BRB screen. Be back in about 5 minutes. Okay. Right, we're back. Sorry about that. Turns out I was getting a phone call. That's what it was. So, yeah. All sorted though. We're all good. Right, where were we? That's right. I was looking into like event stuff. So, how did I do it? That's how long it's been. It's been so long since I watched my ice cream stand. It's no longer in my list of projects. Ice cream stand. Here we go. So I want to see how ice cream stand does it, because ice cream stand's got this event system. So I go to client storage. Where are the events? There it is. Right. Public. Event. Action. Update. Wait. On update. Invoke. Cool. And then all we need to do is down here when we modify money, we just do an on update. And then we do need to go into our this here. We need to do a override on page ready, I guess, and we just need to do how do we want to do this? So no, we would do client storage dot update refresh. Yeah. Actually, no, I'm doing this wrong. We need to do override and then there's a subscribe and unsubscribe specifically for it. We got subscribe. Here we go. Subscribe exists literally for this. I don't know why I'm bothering doing it that way. Protect override void unsubscribe, and then what we need to do is get rid of that. Minus equals. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with, but that exists to handle that. There we go. So now, in theory, this should be working. Well, I say that. The updates should be working. Yeah, okay. The update works. That is really quick. Like, really quick. I don't know why. Oh god, I'm whacking the mic. Jesus. Don't know how loud that was, sorry. Why? Because if I change that to 10,000, it's... I wasn't sure if that had updated live. I was thinking, oh, will that update live? No. Do 100,000. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make it. What? I'm not following this. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I would love to know why this isn't working, but it's getting to the point now where I might just have to like go back to the way we were doing it before with the old timer. So num is equal to next stop minus elapsed milliseconds. No. Did I screw up when I made this nougat package? I might have screwed up when I made this nougat package. Do you know what? I have no idea. We're going to have a look at the actual package itself. Utilities. What I'll do is I'll load up that timer and then I'll pull it over. And have a look at it. Timer. Long calls, eh? Fair enough, LP. I hate those. Oh, I've been working on some at work which has involved me being sat in some long calls recently. Last Tuesday was, I think, a 2-hour long call, like a catch-up meeting with the client. Yeah, to be fair, it was a demo. It was a demo that we did for them. So there's that. That took up a bit of time, but just, you know, it was a 2-hour long call nonetheless. Several days over the last 2 weeks I've been sat in like an hour-long call. Yeah, in like an hour-long call. With a colleague. What's going on here? There's a certain way a cert exists. What are you doing? Cert's up here. Hang on a minute. Weird. Okay, so tick timing. Printing if interval is greater than or equal to 10. Why are we trying to like... Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Right, my bad. We're asserting that it must be greater than or equal to 10. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So interval cannot be less than 10. That's because of the whole, it's within 10 milliseconds. So if you give an interval less than 10 milliseconds, it's not going to have anything to do with it. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So tick timing, 1,000 divided by interval. So if your interval is 1,000, then 1. So that will probably be what's going on. I'm guessing. Because we're doing 1,000 divided by, say, 10,000, which is like 0.1. Where did I get this from? Which project was this in? Oh god. Jesus. I am genuinely like trying to wrap my brains as to figure out which project I grabbed this from. I didn't use this in Ice Cream Stand, did I? No, I don't think I did. Which timers did I use on Ice Cream Stand? Threading timer, so the same timer I was using before. Like, I know which project I used it in originally, like where I created this, but I don't have access to that project anymore, so I'm trying to remember what newer project I must have used this in. The thing is, it would have been recently, because I literally created the nougat packages like within the last month. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So it's got to have been recent that I opened it, but I don't think there's any of these that I've got like in my recent list. Wouldn't have used it in there. Oh god, this is tricky. I didn't use it in this, did I? If I open with... So this is a... Oh, okay, I opened it over here. I was working on something a while back. I did! Wow! Oh no, I cannot show that off. No, 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 no. It's got like client IDs and everything. So yeah, this is where it came from. This project, let me just close all of those just so I don't accidentally give out some IDs that I shouldn't. There's this high precision timer here. This is where it came from originally. No, this one does work. As in, this one should work. Just shrinking again. Not reliable, tested. That uses a tracer set. Sure. I have too many tabs open. The tick timing and cancel source. I should like kind of not amazing, but let's compare. We've got event args. That matches up with this. Actually, yeah, that matches up with that perfectly. Okay. So we've got a tick timing, and cancel source. Yeah. So first things first, that's nullable over here. I don't think it needs to be. Does it need to be? Hang on a sec. Here we go. That'll be it. It's I'm not reassigning next stop. I had a feeling it would be something stupid that I haven't copied over. I'm going to be honest, comparing these two files like that is absolute nightmare, so we're not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to pull this over to another screen. And I'm going to copy stuff over. Well, let's say copy stuff over. Stuff I'm missing. So I removed last report because I don't use it. I don't need it in the generic implementation, so while that... MS left. So in that situation, yeah, okay, I've missed out something here. So next stop equals interval times watch dot elapsed milliseconds divided by, that's the dot, divided by interval plus 1. That's what's missing. And that makes sense, kind of. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So we do that. Okay. Cool. Great. Let me rebuild this now. Build. You come back over here and let me push that up. This is one of the great things about working with NuGet packages and stuff, is I just rebuild it and then I go into the folder where it's built, open up a PowerShell window, pull this over here so I don't dox anything I don't want to dox. Like that one. I'm glad I pulled it over now. That next command in PowerShell would have shown off my an IP that I didn't want to show off. Not blaze that. I'll pull this back over in a sec to show you what I'm running. Utilities dot timer. I don't mind you seeing my like. Actually no, I can't. I don't want to show you that because it's got a key in it. All you need to know is I'm updating a NuGet package, so that now that I've done that, back over here in our incremental project, I'll go back to NuGet packages. I go to installed, and boom, it shows here there's an update available because I just updated it, 1.0.1. And so now, if I run this, I should see it working. I know it works in the other project, and the only difference was that line of code. So if I say go over here and we do that, see that go up to 1.05 in a second? Maybe not. Oh no, why? It used to work. I promise, this used to work. I'm going to be honest, this is the first time I've made use of the high precision timer after making it in a NuGet package. So it's entirely possible that at some point was I blind? Is there another difference I just didn't spot? We don't care about that because that's the last report. Tick timing, put that. And then tick and back. It might be this. 1 millisecond duration, milliseconds total ticks. And then next stop equals interval times watch dot elapsed milliseconds divided by interval plus 1. Otherwise yeah, okay, so okay, that's fine. Spin until modified in the outer scope. Okay, yeah, continue. Wait, no, hang on a sec. No, okay, that's fine. No place like 1.2.168.1.1. Yeah, I know. No, it would have doxed an actual IP, like a genuine external IP. So. I mean, I say that as if it's a bad thing. It's just the IP of the website I'm hosting, which is publicly accessible. It's just, yeah, no. I didn't want to dox it. I genuinely, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing why this shouldn't be working. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of tempted to like put this back to how I know it used to work. So we're going to do like an if statement. If that. Duration milliseconds divided by interval. Tick timing dot put as an integer. Duration minus next stop. We don't need to worry about that if because I'm not using it. Var handler. Right, this is the big one. Tick. Up here, that's not going to be nullable. I don't care what it says. I'm not doing it as nullable because I'm not. I don't do it as nullable in this class, even though I don't like that. Handler dot invoke this new tick event args time span dot from milliseconds duration ms total ticks. Next stop equals interval times watch dot elapsed milliseconds divided by interval plus 1. Right. Else if spin weight. No, sorry. Else if ms left is less than 16. Spin weight dot spin until watch dot elapsed milliseconds is left greater than or equal to next stop. Right, that's fine. Let me do a continue. Right. The only other thing it could be, and it's entirely plausible, is the circular buffers buggered. This is another separate thing. It's possible, I'm going to be honest, that this is also screwed. Non-serialized sync through. I'm just having a look. I'm going to modify this as well. It's not going to like it. I don't care. I don't trust it. Capacity, get capacity, set value. Yeah, that's fine. Size, string. DST equals T value if size greater than 0, copy to DST, buffer equals DST, capacity equals value. Okay, that's that fine. Size, yeah. Did get the variable at the top right? Yes. Right. So that's that sorted. This one here. So if capacity is less than 0, throw argument out of range exception. Yeah, that's cool. Wait a second. Whatever, that's fine. That's fine. This dot capacity equals capacity, size equals 0, head equals 0, tail equals 0, buffer capacity allow overflow. Okay. Contains buffer index equals head comparer, quality comparer to default. Yeah. Index plus plus. Yeah. Equals capacity equals 0. Yeah. Item equals null and buffer index equals null, return true. If buffer index is not equal to null and comparer dot equals buffer, return true, return false. Okay. Contains is fine. Clear. Size head tail equals 0. Yep. Put So put T, so source 0, source length. Okay, if not overflow and count is greater than capacity minus size, throw invalid operation exception. Yeah. Source index equals offset, var I equals 0, I is less than count, I plus plus, tail plus plus, source index plus plus. If tail equals capacity, tail equals 0, yeah, buffer tail equals source, source index. Boom. Size equals math.min, size plus count, capacity. Return count, that's fine. That puts great. What about the next put? Put T item. So if allow over, not if allow overflow and size equals capacity, throw invalid operation exception, that's great. Buffer tail equals item. If plus plus tail equals capacity, then tail equals 0, size plus plus. Great. That puts great. Skip. Right. Int count. So head plus equals count. If head is greater than or equal to capacity, head minus equals capacity. Okay, that skips fine. What about the get here? So T get int count, dist equals T count, yeah, get, return dst, okay. Yeah, right, so get destination offset count, real count equals math.min count comma size, yeah, dest index equals offset, var I equals 0, I is less than real count, I plus plus, head plus plus, dest index plus plus. If head equals capacity, head equals 0. Right, destination index, destination index equals buffer head. Size minus equals real count, return real count. Okay, that's fine. And then tget, if size equals 0, throw exception. Var item equals buffer head. If plus plus head equals capacity, then head equals 0, size minus minus, return item. That's fine. Copy 2, so copy 2 array 0, copy 2 array index size, yep. Copy 2, so index array, array index array index count, yeah. So if count is greater than size, throw argument out of range exception. Buffer index equals head, var I equals 0, I is less than count, I plus plus, buffer index plus plus, array index plus plus. If buffer index is equal to capacity, buffer index equals 0, array index equals buffer index. That copy 2 works. Get enumerator, buffer index equals head, I 0, I is less than size, I plus plus, buffer index plus plus. If buffer index equals capacity, buffer index equals 0, yield return buffer index. That is great. To array. Okay, so I'm going to get buffer, that's right. To array, T size, copy 2. Perfect. And then we've got these members here, which should be relatively easy to go through. I collection dot count equals size, yeah. Is read only. Add T input, yeah. Remove. Removes a little bit more complex. And when I say a little bit more complex, it's not really. Yeah, that's fine. Members. IEnumerator, IEnumerable dot get enumerator equals, yeah, so returns get enumerator. Okay, that's fine. So now we want to look at these ones. So iCollection.count returns size, is synchronized, returns false. Sync root, right? Get if sync root equals null, interlocked. Compare exchange ref sync root new object compare and null return sync root. Okay, copy 2 array index, copy 2, yep, that's correct. And then it's just IEnumerable members, IEnumerator, IEnumerable get enumerator. Okay, this has a cast on this end, so I'm going to do IEnumerator. I think it's a redundant cast, yeah. I'm gonna roll with it though, because yeah. So because of that, I did make a change. I need to bump this one up as well. Build. What I should really do at some point is, well, I say at some point, what I should really be doing here is, because our 1.0.1 update didn't work, I should really delete it and replace it, but we're not going to do that. Let me just go ahead and push up this circular buffer. Circular buffer. Cool. And then I can go back over to timer. I need to update this one because it does make use of circular buffer. Cool. Yeah, and then I think it's just a matter of getting this pushed up. I do just want to just double check. Hang on. Does this match a bit closer now? So we've got event tick timing, cancel source, interval, string name. If interval is less than 1, throw argument out of range exception. We then want to assert that interval is greater than or equal to 10. Screw it, let's just why doesn't that like that? Wait, what's it expecting from me? It's an action. I'm gonna say it's a print action. Print action maker. Oh, okay. There we go. Fine. So tick timing is equal to that. Just because I'm going mental with this, I'm going to order it in the correct way. Hold on a minute. Hold your horses. Hang on a second. If I comment that out... I don't actually need the circular buffer. Okay. I'm just like reading through the comment I left on it, and it's because the circular buffer is used for reporting, which I removed. Okay, so it is entirely in this logic then. Oh my god. So hang on a sec. So yeah, so let's just to double check. I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Start new. Duration ms. Total ticks. Next stop equals interval. And then we've got another variable that isn't being used anymore. So var task equals new task. So while cancel source. Yeah, so while is cancellation requested is not true. Var ms left equals next stop minus watch dot elapsed milliseconds. If ms left is less than or equal to 0, then Duration ms is equal to watch stop elapsed milliseconds. Total ticks is equal to duration ms divided by interval. We then skip the reporting section. So var handler equals tick. Handler dot invoke this new tick event args from milliseconds duration ms total ticks. Great. Next stop is equal to interval times watch dot elapsed milliseconds divided by interval plus 1. Okay. Else if ms left is less than 16, spin wait, spin until watch dot elapsed milliseconds is greater than or equal to next stop. Continue. And then we do a thread dot sleep for 1 millisecond. And then we do down here cancel source token. Yeah. Create task creation options long running. Okay. Cool. And then we just do task.start. Yeah, and then we did dispose calls cancel. That's fine. Right, so in theory, we should be good. In theory. So, I mean, I'm going to make a version 2 of that. Build that. There we go. Let's stop that. Go back into NuGet packages. That's got an update ready. Let's pull that down. Bloody nightmare this is. And then if this doesn't work, we'll revert back to using the other timer. But yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh. Oh. Hey. Oh god, I'm whacking the mic again. I'm sorry. I'm happy with that. There we go. We're getting 50 cents every 10. Well, I'm guessing it's every 10. Let's start a timer. Doesn't have to be like super accurate. I'm just gonna wait for that to tick over. Oh, okay, I missed that one. Let me wait for that to tick over and then I'll start it. There we go. Right, let's see how long it is between. It should be 10 seconds. I got 9.9 when I tapped it. Consider, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I am going to be honest, I'm willing to accept that as acceptable. Let's buy more grunts. What are we at now? What did I buy? I don't remember. I thought, okay. There we go. So we're now getting $2 every 10 seconds. Shouldn't a tick be a second, not 10? Or was that just 10? We can make it a second, yeah. I just, yeah. Sure. Second works. Fine. We're looking at 3, so we've got 6 of them. We've got 10 of them. We got 10 of them. Let's get more. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Now we got 10. Sorry, 20. So we're getting $10 every. There we go. Nice, nice. So that's going up by. So now we're getting 5 for each drone. So we're getting 15 every second. Now we should be getting 20 every second. Nice, nice. There we go. Look at that. Making that dollar. Now we're making what? 40 per? 50 per? 60 per? 70 per? That part. There we go. There we go. We're now making 100. We're making 100 dollar per second. So now we can get an inspector, which should increase that by 50, I think. Yeah, that's 150. Should be 200 now. 200. There we go. There we go. We're now making the dollar. Nice. 300. $400. 500. 600. 700. 800. 900. 1,000. Now we're making 1,000 per second. Let's get an overseer in a second. 1,500. Making lots of money, aren't we? This is great. It updates and everything. We got like the sense and everything. That's great. Making lots of money here, Jesus. Now we're making 5k. We're making 5k every second. Love it. As you can see, money goes up real quick in an incremental. To be fair, it's like incredibly unbalanced. Like it's terribly balanced, but still. Your money don't jiggle, it folds. Love it, yeah. My money don't jiggle, it folds. Yeah. But there we go. 5k per second. We just need a 5th thing to spend money on. And there we go. It's worth 100k. Yeah, so that's that. I suppose what we could do quickly is if I how do I want to do this? So at the moment it's using like the generic money symbol, which is that weird O with an X square sort of thing. Well, O with like spikes coming out of it. So ring. How do I want to go about doing this? I'm just looking into how, like, specifically tell it which currency to use. Symbol. Right, okay, so I can pass in a... Oh shoot, I don't want to do that. I have to. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. I didn't really want to do that, but I might have to go old school and do a string dot format. Yeah. So new culture info. And I want to use ENGB. I think is the one I want to use for now. There we go. Why is that having a hissy fit? Not used in format string. Oh, that's because I'm an idiot. Yeah, so that, if I now stop and start it, that should now show pounds. We should now see the GBP symbol. I hope. Hey, there we go. And $1 dollar. Not quite. But yeah, so that's solved that one for us. Oh god, I don't know what I want to do. I could change that to US and that would then use dollar dollar. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Dollar dollar. What I might do is let's try something. I'm not convinced this is going to work. I'm really not convinced this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. Int decimal places equals 0. Sorry, equals 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go var C equals C and then decimal places. And I mean, I'm not convinced this is going to work. I can't make that be C. Var BP. I don't think that's worked. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it sort of dynamic in that if I pass in a certain amount of decimal places. So for example, so our money we can format as having 2 decimal places, but the workers we can do as 0 is the idea. So the workers will show as just $10 without the 0.00, but the money will show with it. I don't think this is going to work. Just because it's showing it as not being used, that variable. Ah, okay. Oh, actually, I may a solution to this. Yeah, there may be a solution to this. So var nfi equals new culture info en-us dot number format, and then we would do nfi dot decimal digits equals decimal places, and then I pass in nfi there, and then that just goes to C. So now if I run that, that should work. Maybe. Yes, nice, perfect, that worked. Love it. Awesome. Yeah, Vindex, you had any thoughts about your game idea yet? I don't know if you're still here, but I mean, you did say something about 5 minutes ago, so hopefully you are. Any thoughts about your game idea? But yeah, there we go. I'm happy with that. Let's just tweak this a bit. Let's go, instead of earn $1 dollar, we'll do earn format money. Oh my god, there we go. I also don't think I need those brackets. There we go. Yeah, okay. Care to elaborate, or I don't know. Maybe you don't want to, I don't know. There you go, earn $1, nice. Do you know what? We're going to go like a step further. And what we're going to do is we're going to go client storage. And we're going to go public double money per click. We're going to have it default to 1.0. Well, we'll default it to 2.0 for now, just for testing purposes. But I believe what I can do is we can do client storage.money per click. And this should then give us earn $2, I think. Nice. Love it. And then what I should also do is buy worker name for... We could do some clever stuff here to determine how much the worker should cost. Like I could do a public double adjusted worker cost. And then what I would do is if worker list all .id is not equal to worker.id, then we return worker.base cost. Otherwise we would do return. I mean, this is another case where I need to really get the existing. So if existing is equal to null, let me do that. Otherwise we return existing worker.base cost times existing.quantity worker.base cost times double existing.quantity time divided by 5, I guess. That's not gonna work, is it? It's got to be 1 plus that. Yeah. Maybe. That should work, right? I hope. Yeah, and then all we would do is var cost is equal to adjusted worker plus worker. Cost. Yeah, that needs to be int quantity equals 1. Because we need to do times that. I mean, that isn't. Yeah, that's. This logic doesn't work when you want to buy more than one at all, but we're going to go with it for now. Adjusted worker quantity. That's that, and then over here we would do by worker name 4. Client storage dot adjusted worker cost worker with a quantity of 1. That's fine. There we go. Okay, a little bit buggy. Need to tweak that slightly. It's allowing us to buy stuff. Yeah, okay. I need to stick that there, and if money is less than cost. Whoopsies. Okay. Yeah, so now we actually need 14 bucks. There we go. And then it becomes 16. Yeah, so that's not quite right. So I was wondering if that was going to be the case. So it increases by 2 per, but it jumps from 10 to 14. So it jumps by 4 initially, and then it's 2 every time. And I had a feeling that was the case, because what it's doing is it's showing the... yeah, okay, no, I see what's going on. Because it's defaulting to the base cost when we don't have any. But this logic means that it will be 12 the first? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I suppose what I could do is quantity minus 1. Let's just see how this works. Sure, okay, we'll roll with that. Yeah, I wonder how much drone's going to go up by. It's going to go up by 20, isn't it? Of course it is. Stuff's getting pricey. I say that, it's only going up by 2 per, but still. So Vindex, I'm assuming the silence means no, you don't fancy sharing. It's fine. How much are we earning now? So 12 up to 24. We're getting 12 per. Okay. Let's buy drone. 120. Yeah. Okay. Oh, of course. It's, why am I shocked? I'm dividing it by 5. Of course, it's 120. Because it's 100 divided by 5, which is 120. Just Windcraft, and yeah, I was debating on whether or not I should do this or Windcraft earlier. That's when I was asking you what should I do today. I was like, part of me was like, should I just do Windcraft? But then you suggested game dev, and I was like, yeah, I could do something to do with that. I could do some dev. So, yeah. This is like really stupid. This is like complex. This is too complex. 1 plus, and then double quantity plus quantity minus 1 divided by 5. Like what? That needs to be simplified in some way, like even if it means doing something like var q is equal to double existing dot quantity plus quantity minus 1. I can roll with that. and then that replaces that. And then we do like var c is equal to q divided by 5. That becomes that. I mean, that's not very descriptive, but I can roll with it for now. So q will become like quantity mod. Quantity mod, and then C would be not C. 1 plus percentage increase. Sure. That kind of is a bit easier to follow, I think. Yeah. So percentage increase, so quantity mod divided by 5. So what we could do here is divided by just thinking about how we want to do this. I'm trying to think about ways of making this dynamic, and I'll write it up tonight and send it over tomorrow. Cool, that's cool. I want to try and figure out ways of making this dynamic so that it's like increases per, like, you know, the increase is exponential, not linear. How do we do that? Just mod divided by 5. Idea. We do that and multiply it by existing dot quantity. So yeah, multiply it by the amount you have right now. Did that update live? I don't know if it did. I don't think it did. That's fine. So it's 12 and then 18. 28, okay. 42. 60. Okay, it's going up quite quick, but it is exponential, so that's good. 82. 108. Okay, that's exponential. It's a little bit quick though. Double. Let's divide that by 3. So we are going to modify. We're going to multiply it by. I just realised I don't think that's going to work. Well, it will. Okay, it does work. It's just really slow at the beginning. I mean, that's fine. That's acceptable. $34, $43. I can deal with that. Yeah. 53. 54. I think that's okay. I guess. I mean, if I... And actually, we are just going to tweak this ever so slightly. We're going to wrap that in that and do 1 plus. That may tweak it a bit. See? 12. 16. 20. Okay, that's better. And this will be 26, and then it'll go to 32, and then it's going to go 40. Yeah, and then 50. 40, oh, sorry. 32, 40. 58. Okay, 58, and now it should go 68. Okay, so now it'll go 80. Then it's going to go 90, I think. 92. Okay. Oh, no, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know why it's doing that. It's because of what we did over here. Let's get rid of that. Oh, actually, no, that's not what we want. Well, yeah, we'll do that there. But no, it's this bit here, this part here. It's all it is it's decimal places. Yeah, 1250. Going up to 16. 2050. 26. Yeah. 4850. 58. 6850. 80. And then it goes up to 9250. Okay. 106. Gotcha. And then we buy a drone. 125. Jesus. Pricey. 60. And then what I think I would like to do, just to see, you know, how it works. I just want to do money per click is equal to 1.0. We're actually going to modify this so it's not one of these. It's actually going to be this 1.0 times double one plus so double worker list dot count divided by 2. I think. Okay, yeah, and then we want to do that. Now we get 150. Cool. Ah, oh my, okay, that's not right. It's actually going to be a worker list sum dot quantity. There we go. That's my bad. Because count would only count the individual, like, you know, the types of workers. So that goes 150, and now it goes 2, 250, 3, nice, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that should go 750. Yeah, 8. Good. 9. 950. 10. I like it. I like it a lot. It definitely makes buying stuff easier when your money goes up every time you buy something. So that's cool. That I'm fine to leave as it not as linear, as it not going up exponentially. Well, I say that, I think I would like the drones to increase it by more. So maybe drones would increase it by $1, inspector by like $2, and overseers by like 5 or something. So what we could do, I think, yeah, I know what we'll do. In worker, we're going to do, over here, we'll do a public int click click addition, sure. set. There we go. To click addition, and in server storage over here, we're just going to do click addition equals 0.5, which that needs to then be changed to a double. There we go. So this one I'm happy to be like 2, 5, and then say 10. Right, and then in client storage, that then needs to be click addition. Get rid of the divided by 2. We can get rid of half of these things here. There we go. And actually just realised it's actually not a yeah, it's not an addition, it's a, yeah, it's a multiplication. It's whatever. It's fine. It's a non-issue, it's fine. Oh, because I'm an idiot. It's click addition multiplied by quantity. Whoopsies. Dot quantity. My bad. There you go. Click addition multiplied by quantity. Because we want each one that you buy to do the same effects. So we go up to here, we buy that, and then we do that. Go up to 2. Let's get ourselves up to 100, and we should see that increase by... what did I set it to? 2? Nice. Good. And then, just because I want to, we're gonna actually come back onto this UI screen, and we're gonna do a @for each var worker in client storage.worker list h3 @worker.name worker.base earning. Let's just do a here. Plus multiplied by worker.quantity, and then we'll do a comma. So that needs to be a @format money quantity, and then comma @worker dot click addition times worker dot quantity. Not going to be the most UI friendly sort of thing, but it's whatever. We'll live. We will survive. Okay, so grunt. Start. Oh, that should have been format money as well. Oh, well. Nice. $60. There we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm getting confused for no reason. I'm like reading how I'm reading this 10 and thinking, why is that 10? Well, when it was 6, I was like, why is it 6? Okay, that's cool. Let's get that as a format money. There we go. Worker name, tick. I'm gonna do oh, is it because of that? No, that's weird. Okay. The format money. So what do we want to put here? We want to do let's do a couple of spaces. Oh yeah. Let's just click. I don't think that's applied. No, okay. Doesn't like the spaces though. That's interesting. Bring down the spaces, which is interesting. So in that case, let's just stick that on the same line. It's annoying. Do that. The pipe should work fine, I think. Yeah, there we go. Cool, that's that. Let's buy a drone, see how that looks. There we go. $5 per tick, $2 per click. Works, that works. I like it. Working well. I mean, it's very basic, but gets the job done, doesn't it? Now we're getting $10 per tick for grunts, $10 per click for grunts. So we should be earning, yeah, 25 bucks. That's good. Okay, now we're getting 25 per tick for drones. What I'm thinking then is I'm just going to modify this slightly. We're going to have that go there, and we're inside here. We're going to do. Why is that? It's because it's trying to treat that as an array, isn't it? If I do that, there you go. That fixes that. Quantity. So now we should see how many we've got. Yep, grunt 1. They've done like an X, but I feel like the bracket, square bracket, seems it makes it seem more codey, a bit more nerdy. So we've got 6 grunts, got 9, 10, 1 drone. There you go. So 10 grunts makes the same amount as 1 drone. I mean, that's what we've set it up to be, but yeah. 15. 17. 18. 19. And 20. So now we've got 20 grunts. Let's get some more drones. 4 of them. 6 of them. Let's get up to 10. 8. Okay. Now we're up to 10 drones. That's good. $50 per tick, 20 per click for the drones. Let's get an inspector. There we go. The inspector gets us 50 per tick and 5 per click. So we only need 4 inspectors to make up the same amount of click increase as drones. Just like that. Nice. Let's get some more drones though, because I feel like the money's getting up there a bit. Drones are now worth 1.5k per. Let's get some grunts then. 600 per. They're not cheap. Can we get up to 50 grunts? That's the question. I love how now we're basically just playing it. 43 grunts, and it's worth, each grunt's worth 1,000 now. And they were initially 10. That's cool. There we go. We're up to 50 grunts, 25 bucks per tick, 25 per click. Still only a third of what drones make. We've got 15 of those. Let's buy an overseer. 500 per tick and 10 per click. Get some more drones. 20 drones. Can we get some inspectors? They're not cheap. So we're at 1,125. 1,125 per tick. We're at 126 per click. Not bad. Get more overseers? Yeah, of course we can. There we go. Look at that. 2,125 per tick. It's going well. 5 overseers now. Getting 2,500 just from the overseers. That's 3,125. Get more drones. 125. Let's get more. See if I can't get 50 drones. Is there any point in me clicking? Yeah, I suppose clicking does help. But I'm sure it'll get to a point at some point where it won't. $46. 9, 50. There we go. We're at 50 drones now, so 250 per tick for drones. 100 per click. That's pretty good. Inspector. Let's see what we can get to with this. $750 per tick. 800 per tick. So we're getting 50 per for this. 900. Getting expensive now. 22k per. There we go. 25k per. But we are getting 1,000 per tick from that now. So what? That's 3,500, 3,750, 3,775 per tick. Amazing. Let's get to 25. Two, and then 34. A bit more. Nice. Okay, so we're at what? 1,500, 4,025. Suppose we should probably buy some overseers. That's where the real money is. Nice. See if I can't get 10 of them. Get up to 5k per just from overseers. 68,500 though. It's a lot of money. There we go. We're at 5k per tick just from the overseers. Nice. Cool. Well, I guess there's not really much left to do. It's basically just UI design now, isn't it? Because I mean, the functionality's there. I mean, there's easily more functionality we can put in place, like for example, purchasable multipliers and stuff. Like that's something we could put in place. But I don't know. I feel like we're kind of at a point now where I think it's good to call it for this. Because I mean, this isn't supposed to be, like I mentioned right at the start, this isn't supposed to be something big that I'm going to take on going forwards. I just wanted to get into like a bit of game dev, you know, in that mindset, you know, just thinking about stuff like this. Nothing serious. This probably, like I said, won't progress any further than this. I'm probably not going to continue working on this after today. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I doubt it. We'll see. But yeah, I think that is where I'm going to call it for today, though. That's been fun. So I know it's become a bit of a thing, me giving last-minute notice for certain things, but I won't actually be streaming Friday this week. It's going to be tomorrow instead, and it's not going to be from 7 PM UK tomorrow. It's going to be from 12 PM, so from midday UK tomorrow. I'll probably be live a good 3-4 hours thereabouts. We'll see, but I'm not going to be live Friday because there's a bank holiday weekend. So yeah, it'll be from 12 PM, so midday tomorrow, midday UK tomorrow for a couple of hours. It's still going to be torture though. It'll be torture tomorrow. It's just, yeah, not Friday, tomorrow instead, and it's earlier than normal. That's the plan for tomorrow. And then I'll be live again. I might go live over the weekend. We'll see. I might go live like Saturday night from like 7 PM. We'll see. We'll see. I'll judge. It really does depend on plans and stuff. Maybe I'll find a few minutes to get on and pump up your death count. Maybe. I know it's quite early for you, isn't it? Like, you know, midday my time's really early for you. So you know, if you're not there, I understand. I know why. But yeah, no, it's just because things are happening. It's the bank holiday weekend, family plans and whatnot. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's like 6 AM here. Yeah, exactly. It's real early. So I may not be live when you're like free, like when you're able to pop in, because obviously I'm sure you're going to be waking up for work and whatnot. So obviously, you know, I may not be live when you're able to jump in. The time that I finish, it's a bit iffy because my bank holiday plans kick in from tomorrow afternoon, which is why I'm starting early. So like literally I'll be, from the moment I finish stream, that's when I'll be busy essentially with bank holiday plans. So that's why it's a bit flexy. It really does depend on tomorrow. Like I won't be able to give any time really until I need to disappear. So I'm aiming for about 3 hours torture. That's what I'm aiming for. So I'm aiming to be live until 3 PM, but it may have to be earlier. It won't be much earlier, but it may have to be earlier, or the plans might not start that early and I might be able to keep going for a few more hours. I don't know. Before you disappear, oh god, what? Before I disappear, you know, I might end up, I may end up going until like 4 or 5 PM, but you know, have you heard of the Greek myth of both Hades? No. Is this going to be some sort of, what's the joke? Come on. What's the Greek myth of both Hades? Go on. What's the joke? I know there's going to be a joke behind this. It's going to be like both Hades nuts or something, isn't it? Just waiting for your response. And then you're going to be all, got him, aren't you? And you do now, you're a slow typer, aren't you? He's like Achilles, but instead of his heel, it was groin. Right, okay. As in both Hades nuts, yeah? Is that the joke? Did I get it? Oh. You are the slowest typer ever. You type it on your phone or something? This is crazy. So you must have heard of Achilles heel, but have you heard of both of these nuts? Yeah, there you go. There we go. Lovely, amazing joke. Amazing joke. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. I like it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I do appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, probably not going to be taking on this project going forwards. I mean, I won't be streaming it going forwards, I can promise you that. But I don't know, something might come of it, maybe one day. I do know at some point I do plan on revamping Ice Cream Stand. I'm not going to give any promises as to when, but at some point I do plan on doing it. It's been on my to-do list for a few months now. I was going to turn it into an app. I think I mentioned that before, that I was going to turn it into an app. But then me and JavaScript, we don't get on. Like, I've had enough time with JavaScript at work to know that I don't get on with it. I don't like it. I just... Oh, I can't do it. I struggle with JavaScript, so I'm not going to turn it into an app. Having said that, I have picked up on a lot of CSS since I started working where I'm working. So I may, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of revamping it as a website. I'm thinking of taking the knowledge that I've learned through my new job and since I started working on it at the beginning, and I should be able to make it much more efficient and, fingers crossed, be able to turn it into a website that works on mobile. It will look different on mobile than it does on a desktop. Don't tease me. Like I said, no promises as to when this is. I haven't started working on a revamp for it yet. I can't promise when I'm going to do it. I'm just saying it's on the table for at some point, okay? Don't take this as oh, Ice Cream Stand's coming back. It's on the table for me to pick up at some point. No promises as to when, okay? So don't go thinking you know, I want my save data imported. Yeah, I will probably get because I've got a backup of all the data. I can't start from scratch again. I do have a backup of all the data, so I can import the data again. But the idea is that if/when I get to this, it will be more stable. I believe that with all of my new knowledge in Blazor and just web-based C# in general, that shouldn't be an issue anymore. Like, the stability shouldn't be a thing. Like, it shouldn't, yeah. The issues we was having before, I don't think will be an issue. Another big one as well, one that I'll make him restart damn Wales. I mean, LP, would you say that LP's a whale on Ice Cream Stand on the new one? Because, like, you couldn't donate through it. And you, like, I mean, LP does sub, like, fair enough, he does sub through Twitch, but then that's not exclusively for Ice Cream Stand, is it? So, I don't know. I'm not sure you can call LP a whale on Ice Cream Stand. But no, I probably will look into importing data if/when I get to it. But yeah, I think one of the big changes I'll be making is I won't be going through the Amazon AWS SQL servers, because each individual, well, I'd just make it more optimized. I'd make it way more optimized, because, oh my god, it was not cheap. Like, it was a nightmare. It was a bloody nightmare, I'll just say that. I only donated the top tier toppings flavors. Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but that didn't impact your, yeah, that was when it was Sam, exactly. So that didn't impact your data, your current data, did it? You had to start again when I relaunched it. So Vindex's comment about damn whales, that doesn't quite hold up here. Like, you was technically a whale on the original, but not on the new one. Yeah. And I don't plan on implementing a donation system. Who didn't donate to Sam? True actually, I donated. I miss Wolfhat, there you go, you donated, yeah. You're right actually, who didn't? Who of the big, like, the major portion of the player base didn't donate at least a little? I'd say it's good money, but it's not. It's not. The server hosting isn't cheap. So I can promise you that all of your donation money went to server hosting. I can guarantee you that. Got to start making dinner. Have a great last minute of your stream. Yes, I'm ending it anyway. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope dinner goes well, LP. Vindex, I look forward to reading what you've got about your game. I mean, I'm happy to jump into a call after stream if you want. I don't know. It's up to you. It's Wednesday, isn't it? That's one of the one of the Final Fantasy clubs must be open. I'm happy to jump down a Final Fantasy club if you want. What's running at the minute? It's Tuesday, Saturday. That's on light. It's light as well. Imagine playing Final Fantasy still. God. Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it's music, isn't it? It's a club. Friday, last Friday, actually, that was. Mad, are Mad closed now? I think Mad are closed, aren't they? No, the 11th of June, right. Mad open one last time on the 11th, okay. I don't think I've logged in since Friday. Ooh. Unrighteous last Friday. Yeah, Unrighteous are like a Friday thing. Any Karma Cartel going on? No. Wow, there's like nothing open tonight. Never mind, ignore that. Ignore that suggestion. There's nothing running tonight. Jesus. Okay, there's stuff running Friday. That's not good for me. Well, Friday night Friday night late I could do. I don't know. No. It would have to be like the AMs. Well, it'd have to be like sort of 10, 11 PM Friday night. Nah. And I can't do tomorrow. You blind? Am I blind what? Did you find an event? Are you kidding me? Don't tell me you found an event. I literally just scanned through it all. I couldn't find anything. Mercury Nights at Nexus on. Where are you seeing that? Which Discord? Wait, are you checking the... Wait a second. Are you checking the Enders Nights calendar? I haven't checked the Enders Nights calendar. Oh, also, is that a next? That's an 18 plus, isn't it? Is next an 18 plus venue? Well, apparently Club Vesper's on as well. They all, I mean, yeah, they close in like an hour and a half. Vesper's open. That's a casino / club. What else is open? I didn't look at the 18 plus, I'm going to be honest. I don't tend to. There's so much going on in light. Oh my god. This is crazy. There's so much happening on light. Why are we not on light? There's like 20 events happening on light tonight. Actually, no, I haven't said that. Not all of these are for tonight. Some of them are for tomorrow and Friday. Yeah, there's Saturday. Okay, well. Or funerals live. Fair enough. Well, I mean, you know, I'm down to do whatever. If you want to jump into a call, if you don't, that's fine. It's up to you. Let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll be live again tomorrow from 12 PM UK time. That's midday UK. Doing Torture. First half hour, as per usual, will be sort of no torture, but you know, that is as per norm.